The Yellowstone series has blown up unbelievably, and the new take on that, the prequel, if you will, 1883. We've got Eric Nelsen with us today, and first off, Eric, I'm excited to talk about the just started new series.
Well, first of all, I'm happy to be here, man. Thanks for having me. And yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, the fan reaction and the whole thing. I mean, we knew coming into it, we had a lot of people excited just because of Yellowstone's success. But we had no idea what was going to happen once it started airing. And it's just, I mean, I feel like we're on a rocket to the moon right now, and it won't stop. It's insane. And it's been unbelievable and, such a privilege to be a part of.
Now, Eric, I want to ask you about the timing. I mean, you lived in LA for many years, timing on a move and then a new venture. I mean, talk about how timing worked out for you in this case.
Oh, well, I mean, it doesn't happen this way ever, first of all. My wife and I were living in LA, and we had just had our first daughter. And it was basically right when the pandemic was starting. We were like, hey, let's get out of LA. Let's go back to Texas, because that's where my wife is from. And let's, have our daughter be around family and kind of out of the craziness of LA and all the uncertainty that was out there. And so we made the move. And then our whole industry shut down for about a year because of COVID. So we were like, all right, silver lining. We get to be hanging out with family and not have to worry about traveling. And, once things did start to pick up, our whole mindset was I'll just kind of fly back for work and then fly back to Texas to kind of centrally locate here and kind of get out of the craziness a little bit, if you will. And then the pandemic kind of comes to an end. Well, at least our industry opens back up.
Right.
And 1883 comes across my desk. And long story short, go through the audition process, the whole thing. And then before I got the contract, and before I knew I was doing the show, I get a call from Taylor Sheridan. And he's like, hey, man, really love you. Really want to work with you. Very excited about this. I heard you moved to Texas. Is that right? And I was like, yeah. And I told him the whole story on why. And I was like, we were in LA for a long time and now we're here. And he's like, where in Texas? And I was like, Fort Worth. He's like, where in Fort Worth? I was like, are you familiar with the town? He's like, I'm very familiar with the town. Just tell me exactly where your house is. So I told him, and he pauses 2 seconds. And then he's like, oh, good. You're going to be 15 minutes from where we're going to be filming most of your stuff.
Wow.
And I was like, wait a second, this cannot be happening right now. Needless to say, all of my co-stars were really jealous of the fact that I got to sleep in my own bed for most of the shoot. But the stars aligned on it, and, God is good. And somehow it worked out in my favor and didn't have to travel too far, which was also good because we ended up having another child, and he was born in the middle of filming. So got to be home and not miss any part of that whatsoever. So just, such a blessing. And as I said, those things don't happen in this industry.
Now, you talked about filming close to home, and I know that Guthrie, Texas was the location that some of the shooting was done, the 4 6s. What was it like being able, like you said, sleeping in your own bed, but also taking in some of the beautiful Texas landscape as well?
Oh, it was incredible. So yeah, I did have moments where I was, on the road, so to speak, in Texas, but still not too far away. Guthrie was one of those places, the 4 6s. It's an iconic ranch. I mean, it's legendary. It's some of the most famous cowboys in the world came through there and still work there and the whole thing. So just to be surrounded by that culture and, to be filming in the place that our story takes place in, it's just kind of mind-blowing. And again, that doesn't always happen. Normally we're on the back of some studio lot on Warner Brothers or something, pretending like we're in Texas. But in this case, we actually were filming where the story was taking place. And, in terms of the 4 6s, it was just, it was a bucket list for me, first of all. I feel like, my cowboying has, my skills have sharpened quite a bit since doing this show. And so I got bit by the bug, and I'm going to continue doing it, I think. And so to kind of get to surround myself by the real deal out in a place like Guthrie was a really cool experience.
Now, talk about the challenges of doing a Western and breaking away from maybe your norm. What was the biggest challenge for you to feel comfortable in your skin in a Western, if you will?
Yeah. So, I mean, this was my first Western to do, and I've been a big fan of them. I've watched pretty much all of them. My parents are really. My dad was a horse trainer most of his life, and my mom showed and the whole thing. So the culture was around me a lot, but never had the opportunity to be in one, and it was always a bucket list thing for me. So when it kind of came full circle and I got the opportunity, I ran full speed ahead with it, and it's funny because I'm not from Texas. My wife is. But I feel like since I've immersed myself in this world for so long now and truly kind of, I think it's rubbing off on me because now I'm talking a little bit different. I'm walking a little bit different, you know, I'm only wearing boots and cowboy hats these days and I'm loving every second of it. So I don't know. I think, you know, not only getting to do the character, but I think it also changed me as a person too. And if I did Westerns for the rest of my career, I'd be a happy guy.
Now you talk about your character. Tell our listeners if they haven't checked out the series, if they've been under a rock, tell us about your character and what you've learned about yourself from the role as well.
Well, I play a cowboy. His name is Ennis, and he gets hired by James Dutton and his crew to kind of help them on their journey to get from Texas all the way up to Oregon. And eventually landing in Yellowstone, where the you know the current series takes place. So you know he's this group needs him and my buddy, the other cowboy they hire, because we've done this trip before. We know the journey, we know what's up ahead and what to expect. So I've got a lot of skills as far as that goes. But I'm also I'd say Ennis is a kind of more of the light bright in the group. You know, it's a fairly dark, gripping, raw show, right? And so Ennis kind of gets to punch through a little bit. You know, he's got a little bit of comedy, and he's kind of maybe putting his foot in his mouth when he shouldn't be. And ultimately, he's also, a little bit of a flirt, and he's got a soft spot, I guess, because he's totally falling for the lead girl, Elsa, James Dutton's daughter. And Tim McGraw plays James Dutton, and he's given me a lot of grief for the fact that I'm into his daughter right now. So there's a great little triangle between the three of us happening right now. And, this without giving too much away, if you haven't watched it yet, but this last episode, it really kind of shows where her and I's relationship is heading. And so, yeah, it's been fun. I got that little edge because he's a cowboy, but I also got that soft side and, kind of finding the comedy in there too. It's been a fun role to explore, to say the least.
Now, who made you more nervous the first time you came into the room with him? Was it Tim or was it Sam? It seems to me that Sam would just scare the life out of you the first time.
Yeah, because, I was just like looking at his mustache and I didn't know what to say. I'm like, oh, my gosh, that thing should be framed. But it's crazy because I was probably, I'm equally as huge of a fan to both of them, for different reasons. But Sam did have the intimidation factor a little bit more. I don't know, I guess because it's Sam Elliott and, I've seen the roles he's played and, he's this really badass dude and you kind of hope, you have an idea of what you hope he'll be like in person and you just don't want to be let down or, I'm going to be spending so many months with this guy. I really hope we get along. And, well, within the first 30 seconds, I think he wrapped his arms around me, gave me a huge bear hug, like he's known me forever and said, I'm really, really happy we're doing this together. And that was all I needed to hear. I mean, from that moment on, I was just like, okay, we're going to be good. This is going to be awesome.
No matter what they throw at you, right?
No matter what. He's in my corner, so I'm fine.
Now, tell us, Eric, aside from 1883 during the pandemic, what was the big inspiration for you? I know you're a creator as well, a writer and all that. Where were your inspirations pulled from?
Just kind of to get me through the pandemic, you mean?
Just creative wise.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I mean, I've been doing this industry since I was 13 years old. So it's been a long time now. So it's kind of, all I know. But I mean, like you said, I really enjoy writing. I really enjoy researching. I watch a lot of movies, a lot of television. And I've got 2 kids now. So I kind of get to, kind of be the the funny actor guy in their life now too, you know, making them laugh and, you know, enjoying that time together really is the most inspiring thing for me. Is, you know, kind of all I need to do is wake up and look them in the eyes and be like, okay, I got to tackle this day. I got to do everything I can. I've got 2 little ones here I got to take care of now. So that's the main thing for me. But, you know, I feel like, yes, I've been doing this since I was 13, but at the same time, I feel like I just started yesterday. You know, it's crazy. A lot of the times they say it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. And I've had more people writing to me and following me now and kind of reaching out since doing 1883. And, you know, a lot of them are like, welcome to acting, you know, what a great first gig. I'm like, well, you know, it's been a lot of other things, but yeah, I see how this would, you know, come across that way. Cause it's definitely, the scale of it is on another level. But, you know, just going with the flow right now and enjoying every second of it.
Now, Eric, how hard has it been to keep up with the socials now as 1883 is out there?
It's been, you know what, it's been a lot, but it's very rewarding because I'm just seeing outpour of love. I've seen nothing but support, love, encouragement, kindness. So that's been wonderful. And really right now I'm just focused on my Instagram. I had to kind of turn off the Twitter and Facebook for a bit because that was where it started getting overwhelming. But as far as my Instagram goes, I love hearing from people. And I've actually been on Sundays doing these live streams on my page, where it's kind of my way of giving back to the fans a little bit and connecting with them personally, getting to answer their questions that they might have about the show or the characters or where things are going. And it's been going really well. And it's been really, really fun to get to kind of connect with the fans and with the people who've been supporting us.
Well, Eric, you mentioned it. I'd be remiss if we didn't give our listeners a chance to figure out where they can follow you. Also, keep up with the latest episodes and of course, streaming the ones that they've missed as well.
Absolutely. Well, I'm on Instagram at Eric Nelsen Official, and Nelsen spelled weird. It's Nelsen. My entire life, it's been misspelled with an O because that's the normal way people do things. But yeah, no, Instagram would be the best way. And, you know, we've got episode 5 of 1883 coming out this Sunday on Paramount Plus. And it's a really, really big one for Ennis. So I'm really excited about it. If there was one episode I'm most excited for people to see, it's going to be this one coming this Sunday. So make sure you guys tune in and, you know, reach out to me and let me know what you think.
Well, Eric, again, thank you so much for your time, sir. I'm looking forward to the new episode, and hopefully we can catch up again as we work our way through 2022.
I really hope we can do that too. I hope one day it's the story where you're like, I remember talking to Eric right when his show premiered, and now look where it is. But thanks for having me, brother.
That's awesome. Eric, again, thank you for your time, and look forward to talking again real soon.
Likewise, man. Have a great one. I appreciate everything.